The next reading I am going to be doing is the Optimist Creed. In the Optimist Creed, promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are of your own. And if you aren't enthusiastic about your own success, start getting that way. I added that. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and to give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. And to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to prevent the presence of trouble. And that is from Optimist International. Again, those can be emailed to you. You see this young man? Come on, stand up. Oh. That is that young man.
Yay.
Just a little bit grown up. Just a little bit grown up. Robin says, my father and I had a complicated relationship. I only saw him a few times throughout my childhood. I grew up living in poverty with my mother and 3 siblings on the other side of the country. It felt as if he had failed me as a child and our relationship would always suffer because of it. But when I became an adult and reached out for him for support while in college, he diligently sent me a check every month without fail throughout my schooling. I'll always be grateful to him for that financial assistance because it helped lift me out of the poverty from which I felt so stigmatized. I remember how he used to send my sisters and me various publications that he felt strongly about. Mother Jones News, the Nutrition Action, and we threw them all into the trash because of our fundamentalist Christian beliefs. I would later come to love all those magazines. When I divorced my husband after 8.5 years of marriage at the age of 29, I also left Christianity behind. I later came to realize that I was gay and was subsequently disowned by my entire family except my dad. He was the only one in my immediate family to support me and actually feel proud of my life path. The estrangement from the rest of my family lasted 9 years. And through that ordeal, I became closer with my dad. As it turns out, we had a lot in common, especially in the areas concerning politics and religion. Religion tore my family apart from me and then caused an estrangement between my dad and my sisters. And he could be very inflexible and had a huge problem with his grandchildren being indoctrinated into Christianity. He held firm to his beliefs, but so did they. And the rift became insurmountable between all of them. For the past 5 years, I've been designing rock and roll calendars for my place of business, and he'd love to hand them out to everyone in town. How many of you have gotten one of those rock and roll? Yeah? Yep, okay, there are a few of you. And he would brag about his daughter. I had to make the stipulation that he keep one calendar hanging up, because he would have given them all away. I mean, that's just the way he was. He was a generous man with causes that he believed in, and he was always tried to do what was right for the community. He loved Middletown and the people in it, and he had no problem with religion as long as they cared about the greater good of the community, because he truly did. Guess that's why he was a boarder of the Middletown community. No, that's not. It's funny because I love to read and write editorials, and my father was quite prolific at that also. He had letters from the president, the governor, attorney general, and various congressmen's offices. He also had a few letters from Joan Croft, the heiress of McDonald's. In one of them, he had sent her a subscription to a vegetarian magazine. And she wrote him back with a thank you note with a gift certificate to McDonald's. Bob spoke his mind, and I love that about him, because I value that quality in myself. I think that pretty much says it all about him. I mean, he really worked for a better world for all people, regardless of race, gender, nationality, sexual orientation. He felt that he could bring about change through the enlightenment of powerful people, and he never stopped trying. But the interesting thing was, I think Bob felt we were all powerful people. We were all powerful people. I've reflected on our relationship since a sudden death a few weeks ago, and I realized that had I not been his daughter with a lifetime of wounds, I probably would have gotten a big kick out of the eccentric old lefty. It was complicated, but I loved him, and I miss him now, and hopefully we will meet again. Indeed, beautiful. I said to Robin as I was asking her to write, she said, well, I don't know what I should say, because I have some feelings. I said, memorials are not a time to gloss over who a person is, but to show the growth of that person, and to know that we too can grow. We too can be inspired and carry on the spark of life, love, happiness, and determination that Bob had.